When sellers can anticipate, depending on your price range and your situation and the quality of your house, when you can anticipate, Paul, what the heck is this?
Oh, you know,
How many gallons is that?
Little side note here. I'm drinking a gallon of water.
Holy smokes! Man.
You know,
that is a huge.
That's barber's orders. My barber told me to drink a gallon of water a day, so that's what I'm doing.
Do you get all your medical advice from your barber?
I do. Absolutely. So, Bradical says drink a gallon of water a day. I'm drinking a gallon of water a day.
That's a lot.
Not Luis, the fitness guy.
Now, hold on here. If you guys can see this, we got a 10 a.m. line here, Paul. We're at almost 1:30. What is going on?
I'll get her done though. Don't worry. Don't worry. I will get her done. So again, this thing looks absolutely ridiculous, but hey, it's for my health.
Yeah, for sure. I love the color choice. That's great.
Hey guys, Paul Germany's here, and I'm with
Scott Nascente,
and welcome to episode 4 of another real estate podcast. And Scott, we're not going to mess around here. We're going to get right into it. And we're going to start with not necessarily the holiday of Easter, although we all had a fantastic Easter. I think last time we were on here was just shy of Easter. And we threw a little Easter egg event.
Well, I wouldn't call it little.
Yeah, and it absolutely smashed, man. It was fantastic. So if you're listening to this or watching this and you were there, thank you so much for coming. I mean, what a joy it was to put that on. I honestly, I said it before, I'll say it again. I felt like everybody was so grateful to be there. Yeah,
and we were too, to have that many clients, friends, and family there. 400 to 500 people. We had the Easter Bunny, we had face painting, we had a massive Easter egg hunt.
Yep.
A few rogue squirrels at the back stealing our eggs.
Not gonna lie, when we started putting the eggs out there, I was embarrassed by how many eggs we had. I was like,
too many.
This is embarrassing, the amount of eggs that are here. So 2,000 eggs, I personally stuffed, and
by himself.
So 2,000 eggs that we put together, and then when we were putting them out there, it was just, I'm like, this is embarrassing. Like, we got to stop putting eggs out here. The Easter egg hunt kicked off. I'm talking 45 seconds, gone. Clean sweep, no more eggs. Everybody got a little piece of the pie there. I don't know if anybody left empty-handed, but if they left empty-handed there, we still had something for them after. All the gift baskets were won, and not without some controversy, but
tons of controversy.
You know, it was a success, and I think next year we'll do 4,000, right, Andrea? Yeah. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. So get in our database. We have these awesome events 5, 6, 7 times a year. For our clients, friends, and family. So you got to get in the database.
Yeah, sure. If you're not in the database, honest to God, just reach out. Don't be shy. Just send us a message, and we'd be more than happy to add you to it so we can not only have you at these events, but keep in contact with you with some awesome real estate-related content, just like we find this podcast is.
Absolutely. Now, let's get into the market data. Paul, I don't know if you saw the inflation report and the interest rate announcement this past week. As we see in the headlines, at least, the inflation has come down in Canada, down to 4.3%, which is actually up month over month from last month, but it's down year over year, adjusting for seasonality and whatnot. And as we all know, the interest rates are going to be tied to the inflation report. So when we see inflation coming down, that gives the ammunition to the Bank of Canada to either continue the pause on rate hikes, or eventually it's going to hopefully lead to interest rate cuts. Yeah. Now, why are we talking about interest rates and inflation? Who cares about that? Well, we're real estate agents, and this has a direct correlation to housing prices. So what they do is going to impact the market. If we remain on pause, and even if we start getting cuts later this year, early next year, what impact do you think that's going to have on the market, Paul?
Well, the market's back to being extremely busy. I know you track this inflation rate pretty closely, and this is definitely heading in the right direction. And is this ahead or behind where you thought it would be more in April right now? Is this ahead of pace for you think?
It's ahead. Like if you would have asked me my prediction, I would have said that this is likely to happen eventually. What's happening now with the multiple offers and the rising prices, I just didn't think it would happen this soon. But also we were dealing with uncertain data. We weren't actually sure if inflation was going to come down or if they're going to continue rate hikes. But I did say, and you can go back and check some of the stuff we've been saying for a while, if they do pause rates and if they do report lower headline inflation, it's going to have a significant impact on the market. And we didn't know when that was going to happen, but now that it has happened, we're seeing it play out.
I'm seeing the market being busy with buyers, and interest rates obviously are holding, and I'm seeing banks start to compete for those buyers'
This is
business once again, which is so nice to see. I think we're down to about 4.5 right now on a 5-year. Is that correct?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
For insured, maybe a little bit higher for the uninsured, but still
But
significantly.
they see how many buyers are out there, and then now they're starting to compete for.
Yeah, this is a good point. A lot of people don't think about this, but the banks, even though it's an oligopoly, there's only really 5 big banks here. They do compete with each other for clientele. Obviously, one of the biggest aspects of their business is the mortgage business. So if one of the big banks cuts, you're likely to see another one either follow suit or try to outcompete them. So that's what we are seeing now. It's hard for them to do that when they have uncertainty around interest rates themselves. But now that we have a little bit of clarity, we are seeing that competition out there and the rates start to come down in anticipation of future rate cuts. Maybe not by the end of this year, but probably heading into next year is what we've been hearing. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, and again, the unconditional offers are most definitely back. But I want to touch on that a little bit. So unconditional offers are back. What does that mean for buyers and sellers? So let's start first of all with buyers, Scott. What is this like when you hear, and I hear you can't even have a home inspection these days and stuff like that? That doesn't necessarily, that's not true at all. You can have a home inspection. One, you can still make your offer conditional on a home inspection, but you'll have a certain timeline before they look at offers typically. Guys, get the inspector in there during that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days while the property's on market and get that thing inspected if you wish.
And we call that a pre-inspection. You're doing the inspection before the offer date. That way you can eliminate it from your offer when the offer date does come, because we are seeing multiple offers. And there's a lot of cash offers. Cash offer for us means no conditions. So oftentimes you are competing with unconditional offers, not every time. And like Paul said, there are ways to navigate it. And there's also times when you might say, hey, you know what, the risk profile of this property is very low, and you might be comfortable without an inspection, right? Newer properties or properties that, we have a lot of experience ourselves on inspections. Within a balance of probabilities, we can give a general sense of the quality of the property and the big, 7 that we talk about: roof, furnace, windows, AC, all that stuff. If there are going to be multiple offers and some people are coming in cash, if we have red flags on the property, we never recommend that our clients put themselves at significant risk going after something unconditionally without a pre-inspection or an inspection clause in your offer, and then ending up with $25,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 of unexpected repairs after you close on the property. You want to avoid that at all costs. We're very cautious around these situations, but we do offer guidance depending on the situation, and always with the interest of protecting our clients.
Yeah. So if you very easy to organize a inspection before an offer date. If we all feel, of course, that it needs one. We'll never recommend that a property doesn't necessarily need one, but at the end of the day, we can all kind of look at each other and say, hey, what's your comfort level here? How do you feel about this one? If you weren't to rate a home inspection on it, and if there's even a small inkling of a concern, we just get the thing inspected. Now, properties sometimes will have what we call a 5-point inspection on the property. Now, to each his own. We really don't we really don't use those too much. It's nice to have a guideline for the showing and stuff like that, but we still want to get that inspected ourselves if we feel it needs it. Not that there's anything wrong with those, but we want to take it one step further and get an actual inspection.
Well, it's only 5 points, and a real full inspection could take a couple hours.
And 30 points.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So it's much more thorough. So
I would forever and ever and ever, if I'm going to lose the deal, Scott, I want it lost on the inspection.
Love it.
I don't mind and if I lose a deal on an inspection, I love losing deals on an inspection because it just saves my clients so much time, energy, and money. A month, 2 months, 3 months down the road when these surprises come up. If we're going to lose a deal, let's lose it on the inspection. Never have I ever been upset about losing a deal on an inspection. So inspections, I mean, that could be a whole podcast on itself. Maybe we'll have an inspector on one day.
Ooh, love it. Love it. I think it's something we should definitely set up. We might, they are saying that the inflation rate is likely to come down to 2% by the end of the summer. Again, not sure that I believe that. It is falling fast and furious according to their headline numbers, but who knows? If that does happen, in my opinion, we're likely to continue to see a tight market where these pre-inspections and unconditional offers are still present. So it's not something that we take lightly, but we do have to navigate it because realistically, depending on your price range and the competitiveness of your market, if you're looking to buy a house, we have to adapt as well.
Yeah, and so
if that continues.
And what does unconditional offers mean? So we know what it means for buyers. I mean, just do your conditions before the offer date. Obviously, your first step before you even go look at houses should be the financing aspect of it. Always work on the financing first, so you know you're playing within your means, and we're not showing you houses that. Not that you can't afford, but houses that you're going to fall in love with. Because if I bring it up to this price range and you're only qualified down here, it's hard to bring you back down and show you something that you enjoy. Now,
very underrated. What
does it mean for sellers when we enter back into an unconditional offer? Well, what it means is have your house ready to be pre-inspected. On our listing appointment, I'm going to go through your house. Scott's going to go through your house. Anybody who's at AWP is going to go through your house as if we're showing it to a client. And we're going to talk about those things that are probably going to come up in a home inspection. That way you're prepared for them and or can address and repair them. So never do we decline a pre-inspection. So we're always open to it. We want the buyer to know what they're buying, and we want to be very open and not hide anything because karma is a real thing too.
I couldn't agree more with that. And what this does as well, when sellers can anticipate, depending on your price range and your situation and the quality of your house, when you can anticipate, Paul, what the heck is this?
Oh, you know me.
How many gallons is
that?
Side
note here. I'm drinking a gallon of water.
Holy smokes, man. You know, that is a huge...
That's barber's orders. My barber told me to drink a gallon of water a day, so that's what I'm doing.
Do you get all your medical advice from your barber?
I do. Absolutely. So Bradical says drink a gallon of water a day. I'm drinking a gallon of water a day.
That's
not Luis, the fitness guy.
Now, hold on here. If you guys can see this, we got a 10 a.m. line here, Paul. We're at almost 1:30. What is going on?
I'll get her done though. Don't worry. Don't worry. I will get her done. So again, this thing looks absolutely ridiculous, but hey, it's for my health.
Yeah, for sure. I love the color choice. That's great. As I was saying, what this allows for sellers is when you can anticipate unconditional offers when you're selling your house, it allows you to actually go out and start shopping possibly ahead of time and even possibly buy something before selling.
Yeah.
This was not something we would recommend 6 months ago because we weren't sure what you can get for your house, whether or not we could sell it for the price that you want or need. So we would recommend selling your house first a lot of times and then going to buy. Or doing a conditional house
and
stuff.
That would really throughout the year that would flip flop, right? Sometimes the recommendation would be to sell first. Sometimes the recommendation would be to buy first. As we head into a summer, late summer, early fall market, well, the market tightens up. There's not as many buyers out there, so we would always recommend selling first because we don't know if the property is going to sell or not in a timely manner. And there is more opportunity on the buying end as well. So that used to flip and flop. And I think this year it probably will again. But as we've learned with the ebbs and flows of the market, we're going to report what's going on today. If you call me and you want to sell your house, I know it's a good time to sell today. Okay. What June looks like, I don't know. But today it's a good time to sell.
Yeah, it's a great way of putting it. I think this is the value of working with a qualified real estate agent on the buy and sell side. Like things shift so quickly, so deeply based on so many variable factors, whether it's the time of year, interest rates, or a million other factors. And having that tuned in real estate agent to guide you, whether on the buy or sell side, is it's huge because this is what we do literally 24/7, 365. We're in the game, right? So
unconditional offers are most definitely back, and golf is back as well.
Indeed. The weather's warming up. We just had the Masters.
Golf is back.
You're going to play golf this afternoon, aren't you?
No, I'll be at work all day, Scott. Okay. I'll be at work all day. But golf is back, and it's just the feeling of golf out there, and the seeing your golf course friends and all that good stuff. I don't know if you don't golf, you should because it's the best. And we got a nice little listing coming up here. Speaking of golf, it just so happens we got a nice little listing coming up on arguably one of the best streets in all of Tecumseh, in all of St. Clair Beach, Pentilly. Special street.
Amazing
and
street,
we've got an absolutely fantastic executive 2-story coming up with all the bells and whistles, boasting well over 3,000 square feet on the main floor, plus a full finished basement. And Scott, I've stood in this house in the living room, dining room, kitchen, wherever I'm at. It feels like you're literally on Beach Grove Golf and Country Club, and there's not even a road there, albeit a small road. But this house is special, right on the course, right on the street you want to be on. And I've tried my hardest to hit this house many times. I can't. So it's in a good spot. It's not going to get any golf balls off the windows. That's not a guarantee, though.
Yeah, so, fantastic street. One of the top streets. I think there's a lineup of people waiting and hoping to get into that area. So
and by all means,
should be very interesting.
If you've ever wanted to live on Pentilly and you have some questions about it, feel free to reach out, and I'd be more than happy to talk about it.
And I'm guessing we're going to have the full marketing package, on the come up soon, right?
Yep.
Available for people to check out online or in person, or whatever the case is.
That will go live on market early May. Currently actively being worked on, staged and just dialing in. This house shows like it's brand new, and our good friend Gino Paccioni of Timberland had quite the hand in the build there. So exciting listing for sure, 100%.
Yep. Now, on that note, one of the things we want to talk about here is the psychology of low list price. I think there's a lot of confusion from buyers and sellers on things that are listed well below market value. I don't know what's so funny right now, but
the water.
Things that are listed well below market value. You see something listed at $399. Everybody knows it's worth $450 or more. Why are we as agents doing that? Why are we recommending it generally for sellers? And what can buyers expect? Paul, if you want to touch on that. Any thoughts there?
Yeah, so if I go back to Pentilly, that's not like the psychology on a home of that price and that level does not work on those typically, because the buyer pool's a lot smaller. But really anything in the 3, 4, 5, 6, 700 range, the proper strategy most definitely is to list it lower, list it a little bit more on the aggressive side. That way the price, when people pull it up online, it registers to them right away, and the showings excel on the listing. You have to take care of one problem at a time. The first thing we always want to take care of is our presentation of the home and the marketing. Second thing we want to take care of is the amount of people we can get into the home. There's no better marketing tool to getting people into the home than price. It's always has been that way, and unfortunately it always will be. Now, people, we see the Realtor.ca comments and all that stuff. We know it's listed below what we're expecting. And at the end of the day, us realtors, we don't really want to list it that much under value. We don't, but it's the only way that the buyers respond, unfortunately, still in this market. If the buyers switch the way they responded to the list price and we listed everything for what it's worth and negotiated and all that, then that's what we would do. But they just don't respond to it.
And this is the point here. The psychology of buyers has been for the past 3 years, something's listed low. In their mind, because they've been trained to do this for the last 3 years, they're already tacking on $50,000 to $100,000 onto the list price in their mind subconsciously. So if they see something at $399, in their mind, they're thinking, hey, $450 to $500. So if you try listing at $500, they're thinking $550 to $600. They might not even come see it, even if we're only expecting $500 because we listed it where it's supposed to be. So the psychology of the buyer has been distorted by the distorted market, leaving us no choice if we want people to come view the property but to list low so that they can understand that this is likely going to be in their price range. And I thought you brought up a great point. People don't look at the price as marketing, but it's probably the biggest marketing tool that we have is that attractive price. And a lot of the stuff that I go to look at is there's a sticker price and then there's the reality once you're done, whether it's a new construction home or even a car. They're going to advertise the lowest price. Then you get in there and you start to say, hey, with this option, and this option, it's another $20K.
And price will get them to come see the property, which is what you want. You want your prospective buyers out there to actually experience the experience of the home. You want them to pull their car up and to the street that they're going to park on or the driveway. You want them to walk up the porch. You want them to open the door. You want them to step into that foyer and see what they see. We know what they see is going to be great because we stage a lot of our properties, but you want to have that experience. Real estate's very emotional. It's very, people connect with real estate. And we want them to have that experience and make that decision from the home that we're selling for the sellers. And I think we'd be doing our sellers a disservice if we didn't give all the buyers an opportunity to, at the very least, experience that. Now, I promised I wouldn't cry after saying this, but I'm getting a little teared up over here. My God.
That makes two of us. It's allergy. I'm pretty sure it's allergies.
Yeah, it's 'tis the season.
Yeah, I mean, you said it beautifully there. It's the experience and getting people to experience the drive up and the neighborhood and, you know, the schools right there, the golf course across the street or the park down the street, whatever the case is for that particular home. They're not going to experience it if they think it's priced too high and if it's going to be out of their budget. So these are all reasons why we do it. We don't like doing it. It would be fantastic if we could just list at market value and the property sells and everybody's happy. Unfortunately, the psychology of the buyer has been distorted by a distorted market that we have no control over. So,
and then to touch on a little bit more of the psychology, and I know we've talked about this before, you know, the news cycle still is presenting as, you know, the market's kind of crashing and all these buzzwords. And if a buyer comes in and it's priced a little bit higher and there's only one offer, the psychology of the buyer is going to get their own way and they're going to say, well, how come nobody else likes this property? I must be making a mistake here. The market's crashing. This one's overpriced. I'm going to lowball it or not offer on it at all. Where on the other side, if it's priced at a certain price and there's 4 or 5 offers on it and 6 or 7 or whatever it is, and all those people like it, well, that psychology of the buyer changes as well, where they're like, I like this house. I like the price when I saw it. Other people like it as well. They see what I see. I'm going to take a good run at this house. I'm going to give it my best because now I want it because these other people are actually insulating my thought process.
That's so huge of a statement there. It's just basic human psychology. We want what other people want. And if we want something that nobody else wants, then we start to question why we want it and if we should be wanting it. So if you price too high or even at market value and you only end up with the one offer on the sales side, you're going to have that probably basic psychology play out, which is, hey, why does nobody else want this property? I'm overpaying. The market's going to crash. If this was such a valuable property, there's other properties getting multiple offers. This one's not. I must be overpaying here. Let's come in well under asking price.
Yep.
Whereas when we flip the script, list low, get multiple offers, now we've got the social proof to actually have this work in our favor. So very, very, like, kind of some deep psychology here.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had your psych degree, but here we are. Here we are.
That's it.
So that's some deep stuff. That's why we do what we do. A lot of the time, not every time warrants it. Not every price range warrants it. But the experience, the 16 years of experience for somebody like yourself lets you learn this and give awesome guidance real time to your clients and our clients. So that's why we do it.
Yeah. Speaking of awesome guidance, did you watch Love is Blind?
I have not gotten into the show. I've watched a couple, and man, there's a lot of drama. Anyways, no, in short.
It is like my it is an electric show. It's absolutely phenomenal. My algorithm right now on my social media is just giving me what I want day after day.
What is it?
Tiger Woods, Love is Blind memes, real estate, and NFL still, Lions for some reason. So shout out to my algorithm for just feeding me the content that I absolutely love. And if you haven't watched Love is Blind, like, I'm sorry, it's just
what is it about Love is Blind that you're so
me and the mummy watch it at night, and it's a little bit of our guilty pleasure. And I don't know, I just every time it's on, I'm like, there's no way they can pull off a good episode and a good cast here again. And Nick and Vanessa Lachey, they just keep pulling off great seasons, and they just had the reunion lacked a little bit for me, but other than that, it was a great season, man.
Is this the one where they talk but don't see each other?
That's right, Scott.
Okay.
Sounds like you've watched it.
I plead the fifth.
Okay.
Plead the fifth.
Well, on that note, we will wrap it up here.
Well, real quick though, Paul, do you believe that Love is Blind?
I do. Okay. If I'm being honest, I do.
I'm not so sure. Not so sure.
Well, let's dig into those.
Yeah, I might have to dive into this series though. The way you're hyping it up.
No, you should. It's a little. Just throw it on a little background I say a little background noise, but like I'm deep into it and fully focused when I'm watching it. So we'll see. Season 5 should be out within a few months, and we'll see if they can do it again. I'm sure they can.
Yeah, awesome. Are we
Scotty.
ending on this Love is Blind?
Yes,
Nope.
Scott,
Okay.
I appreciate you so much.
Same, bro.
Way to keep crushing it out there. And guys, if you need any advice, if you need anything real estate related, if you need to know what the house down the street sold from you, always, me and Scott available, whatever you need.
We're here every day, 7 days a week. Let's do it.
365, 364, Christmas. I love Christmas. Home Alone, my favorite movie.